Yeah, that's a good question. So, yeah, I started out, I was at Purdue University, was a grad assistant with the program, spent 6 years in West Lafayette, kind of very similar town and feel to Grand Junction. And then I was lucky to get into college coaching. After that point, I worked at a university just outside Chicago, Division III school, and then I spent the past 5 seasons at Metro State, or MSU Denver. So it's a little bit of a unique situation. I've been in the RMAC and kind of have experienced the RMAC soccer for several seasons. So I have a little bit of a different perspective coming in, but it's nice to be on the inside now. Kind of seeing things from this perspective too.
And kind of my personal favorite question to new coaches is, why CMU?
Yeah, great question. Well, I heard the weather was better than Denver. Though this has been a little chilly lately. No, you know what? Honestly, I'm very excited because I feel like there's so many great resources and such a great culture going on at this university. Facilities are fantastic. There's a real support for athletics here, especially amongst the administration, all the support staff, I think is just fantastic. And there's a great community. I mean, I'm looking out the window at, the Grand Mesa right outside the window. I'm looking at this fantastic soccer facility. I think there's just a lot of really great things going on here. So, I'm really, really excited to be a part of it.
Questions?
Men's coach came in and he said, I've been here before, got off the bus and went, wow. I mean, you've done the same thing.
Yep.
You've seen the facilities ahead of time. Is that, like you said, part of the reason, but also it's time to run my own program?
Yeah, I've been really fortunate that I've gotten to work for some great coaches. I worked for two-time Big Ten Coach of the Year and Rob Claudia at Purdue University. I was able to work for Adrienne Alvarez at Metro State my first stint, and she was at one point the winningest coach in college soccer, female coach. She'd been a part of 2 national championships at Metro. So, I've been fortunate along with Tracy Chow at Metro State. So I've been fortunate to be around some really great coaches and learn. And you're right, at some point, you kind of look and see, hey, I've learned these things and now I'm ready to try them out as well. And there's definitely the factor of getting off the bus and kind of seeing the facilities and seeing things that also is really intriguing. So I think it's, a great environment here.
So were you here before the kids left for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
You actually met some of your
Well, yes. I'm virtually. I met everyone over Zoom. Right before I came in was when there was the second kind of shutdown for things right before Thanksgiving. So, we got to do one socially distant Qdoba meal on the field. We came in different groups, but I'm really excited to see the team on the field come January 25th and get back and actually get into coaching and meeting all the players. That will be really exciting.
What is it like trying to start your own program with all the COVID regulations, and you really can't get to know your kids because you came in right before Thanksgiving and get started on Zoom?
Yeah, I think we should just be grateful, I guess, that this generation is so technologically adept that, for them, like, screens and videos are okay. I'm sure we're all at a fatigue point at this point, but I think the kids have been fantastic. They've been super flexible. They've also been very engaged, and I think there's a really good group of kids, specifically, even the local players. We had a recruit on campus and offered up, would anyone like to come be a part of this, and we got like 10 kids offering. So they're really involved. I think they're very engaged. It's a really great group. It is hard at this time to get to know them, but we've done a lot of phone calls, a lot of Zooms. I'm actually looking forward to just seeing them like in person, getting to have a conversation with them. I think that that's not usually like your big thing day one, but it's like the little things now. So
the program, it's kind of been like this and kind of dipped and kind of coming back up. How do you get this program to where Metro is and some of the other top programs, not only in the conference but in the region?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it comes from a couple of things. I think one is establishing a mentality first, day one in your training and your practices, that you expect to win the game that you're playing. And I think attitude drives ability. And so when you establish that winning attitude, I think a lot of actions will follow off of that. I also think it comes down to creating the culture of the players that are here, a supportive, family culture that, because I think in a lot of ways you get much more out of people when you focus on what they can do than what they can't do. And I think certainly we're going to work on what players can't do to help them improve, but initially we need to focus on what they can do, because that's going to help us achieve more. And the last thing is, I've met the girls, they want to win, they want to be successful. So I think that is the third goal of ours, and I think it comes from those first two pieces. I've been lucky, like you said, to be at successful programs and to go to NCAA tournaments and to see what it takes to be at that level. And the funny thing is, it's not that different. It's a very little piece that is the difference between that. And I think in most cases, it's intangible factors that come into play that are going to give teams the most success. So those are things that we're going to work on January 25th when we can get the team back.
Coach, you mentioned at the top that you're familiar with the RMAC, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that gives you an edge or kind of a familiarity with the season?
Yeah, there's a lot of RMAC coaches who have been here a while, so I feel like, a lot of people are very familiar with each other in this conference. But yeah, I think you take anything that you can get, and if scouting wise, if we've been able to see a team a couple times in the past few years, I think that that can certainly help us get off the ground a little bit. But in any case, it's really going to be about how prepared we can get the girls to come out on day one. So as most people know about coaching, it's not what I know, it's what we can get them to understand and to put into practice. So that'll be the most important thing that we work on from day one too.
A little bit shorter of a schedule with your first year. Do you feel like that's a good thing, or is that kind of a bummer that you're not getting so much tape?
Yeah, what? Right now we're excited to play. If you guys want to get together and pop out, we'll go play a pickup game. We're just really excited to get that opportunity. So we'll take it right now. I think the administration here at this university has been fantastic of really having an emphasis on the health and safety of the student athlete, while also knowing the well-being, is them in a structured environment, if we can have them there safely, getting to play if we can do that safely. So the administration has been fantastic, and yeah, we'll take any number of games at this point.
So I know this year the COVID policies don't make it any easier.
Yeah.
Kind of first step, I guess, jumping in. What's your first thing you want to do to start a new program?
Yeah, I'm going to get name tags for the team. There's a good number of players on the roster, and I need to get to know a lot of them. I'm actually lucky that I coach some club soccer in Denver, and I actually coached several of these players in high school. A couple of them I've coached since they were 14. So, whether that's good or bad from their perspective. There's a few that I know, and then, a lot of girls that I really need to get to know. So, first step is going to kind of be get to know the players as well as we can right away, and then try and get a really cohesive, roles and idea of how we want to play, so that, we can be ready in March when that first game rolls around.